I'd now like to welcome Jarrod Bleijie to say a few words in relation to these awards and, of course, the contribution our volunteers and award recipients make to our beautiful community. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Jarrod Bleijie.
Thank you, Rosanna. Your Excellency, Mayor Mark Jemison, Division 1 Councillor Rick Babarowski, Councillor Peter Cox, college directors, principals, students, award recipients, ladies and gentlemen, and also James from the Australian Monarchist League, who have sent a representative today, being in the Diamond Jubilee celebrations. Welcome to the 3rd annual Kawana Electorate Queensland Day Awards, an initiative, as Rosanna said, that I launched a few years back, and we have grown from year to year. I would hasten to say that the great turnout we've got today, Your Excellency, would have something to do, I suspect, with your generous time that you've given us today. The ceremony, folks, is held as part of Queensland Day, celebrations at a time when we celebrate what it means to be a Queenslander. For those of you who weren't aware, Queensland Day is June the 6th, and in my opinion, this day should be given more prominence in our annual calendar. Your Excellency, we are indeed privileged and honoured to have you here with us today, and your attendance has made our event even more special. As State Member for this beautiful part of the Sunshine Coast, I officially welcome you on behalf of the 300 here, but also 40,000 constituents in the Kawana Electorate. 2012 is, of course, the year of the Diamond Jubilee, where we recognise and pay respect to our Queen Elizabeth II for 60 years of loyal and dedicated service to the Commonwealth. I thought that this year it appropriate that we combine the recognition of this historic occasion with that of our local volunteers and heroes and community organisations. After all, the state was named after Her Majesty's great-great-grandmother, Queen Victoria, who was the only other, incidentally, a British monarch to have reached a 60-year reign in 1897. I have been asked on many occasions why we celebrate Her Majesty's 60-year Diamond Jubilee when her coronation was in June 1953. For those of us who aren't history buffs, on Wednesday the 6th of February 1952, whilst in Kenya, a young 25-year-old Princess Elizabeth received news that her father, King George, had passed away and her accession to the throne had started. The tour of Kenya was abandoned and the young princess flew back to Britain, where she was greeted by Prime Minister Winston Churchill. Britain and the world were in mourning during this period, so it was not until 16 months later the coronation of Queen Elizabeth II took place in Westminster Abbey on the 2nd of June 1953. After 60 years, I think it's fair to say that Her Majesty's unstinting devotion to public service throughout the Commonwealth is something to be admired and emulated by leaders all over the world. And I recall when Her Majesty visited Queensland last year, I was one of the thousands of people that lined South Bank for hours and hours to get that 3-second glimpse with the Courier Mail on my head to protect from the sun. As we celebrate the Diamond Jubilee and our great volunteers that are being recognised today, we also had the Jubilee Party, the big Jubilee Party, which is on the front of the balloons here, which is happening all around the Commonwealth nations. And in Queensland, there were parties that were taking place right around the state during the past week. And the Premier had run a competition for people to enter and have the big Jubilee Party. And the announcements were made this morning of the winners of the big Jubilee Party. I'm pleased to announce that the second runner-up was actually from the Kawana Electorate. Miss Nancy Andrews, who hosted a big party at Sippy Downs. And Nancy's with us today. Where are you, Nancy? At the back there. So well done, Nancy. The people at the back have noted the Premier's office, and the press release is now out there. And so congratulations that we have a local representative who is certainly a runner-up. The major prize winner, which was announced today, has won a trip to London to partake in some celebrations. Nancy, what we'll do at the end of the awards ceremony, we actually have your gift pack that's been prepared down the front here of all the Diamond Jubilee celebrations, which we'll officially hand to you later. In the spirit of this celebration, folks, we recognise the extraordinary efforts of our community volunteers who work tirelessly for various organisations in the Kawana Electorate. and I'm thrilled to be able to recognise their efforts today. The Kawana Electorate is indeed very lucky to have such dedicated people sacrificing their time and effort for the benefit of our entire community. Congratulations to those nominees who are being awarded today. Many of our community organisations have the passion, the spirit and dedication of the volunteers that serve, and who really are the heart of our community. And I thank all the worthwhile organisations who have put forward their nominees. You provide an invaluable service to our local community. Queensland, you would say, and I think you would all agree, unless there's some New South Welshmen in here who are still on a high from Wednesday night, that Queensland is the greatest state in Australia, home to many great national icons, which we could be and should be so proud. Waltzing Matilda was of course composed by Banjo Patterson at Dagworth Station near Winton in the west. The iconic Queenslander House is a timber home set on the stumps with an iron roof and deep veranda. Backyard barbecues are somewhat of a tradition, particularly on the Sunshine Coast. And some of our greatest icons come in the edible and drinkable form. Macadamia nuts, bowen mangoes, Gayndah oranges, and of course 4X beer are renowned icons. We also have some of Australia and indeed the world's most beautiful natural attractions, some right on our doorstep. The Great Barrier Reef, Fraser Island, and just out to our west, the Glasshouse Mountains, and of course some people that have shaped our great state. Aviator pioneer, Sir Charles Kingsford Smith, John Flynn, the founder of the Royal Flying Doctor Service, and of course our own wildlife warrior on the coast, Steve Irwin. On the 6th of June, 1859, Queensland separated from New South Wales to become its own colony. Our southern neighbours, who were once our brothers and sisters, are now our friendly rivals, be it in tourism, business, trade, and as mentioned, sport. Ladies and gentlemen, we have with us today some of the most important people in our community. And why I say the most important is because without these people, without the tireless work they do, the community that we call home would be a shadow of what it is today. These are the people that do things that most go unnoticed, and unfortunately some of us take for granted. That is why today is so important for our community. It is a chance to say thank you and to offer a small token of appreciation for the countless hours that are volunteered. These are the people who protect us at the beach, look after our waterways, improve literacy standards amongst adults in the community, maintain a safe schooling environment for our children, clean litter in our parks, make sure there are sufficient community facilities to share and enjoy, and of course helping out in our schools and P&Cs and PMF, fundraising for very worthwhile charitable causes. To the award recipients here today, can I firstly thank you dearly for the work that you've done in our community. You're inspirational and a privilege to be able to recognise your efforts today. Thank you all for coming, and family and friends and community members, to support these dedicated volunteers we have amongst us. Your Excellency, thank you as Her Majesty's representative in Queensland for your dedication and your tireless work to this great state and its people. Ladies and gentlemen, please join with me in welcoming Her Excellency, the Governor of Queensland, Miss Penelope Wensley, to the microphone.